Hello there, everyone. I just got finished watching the Mirror's Edge Catalyst announcement at E3 2015, and they showed a video and they showed some gameplay, and I noticed a couple things in the footage that I found interesting, and I think some of it may have flown under the radar for most people, so I feel like I should share some of it with you guys. If you haven't seen the announcement yet, you haven't seen any of the gameplay or the footage, I recommend you do that first. I'll have a link to it in the description. So go watch that now and then come back to this if you haven't already. Now, before I get into what I have found, what I want to show you, I do want to briefly say that this is a reboot of the original game. A lot of people in some of my other videos tend to debate this as if it wasn't a fact. This is a fact. It is a reboot. It is in no way tied to the previous games at all, any of the characters or the story. So anything that is not in the videos that they've showed us for this game is all speculation. So the first thing that they have in the trailer basically just tells you that it's captured in-engine, and I do want to say that does not mean this is what the final graphics are going to look like. I don't want people to turn this into another Watch Dogs type situation where they think that this means that this is what the game's going to look like. It does not. It could, but more than likely the PC release might compare to this to some degree, but the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 versions will not. By the way, that is confirmed. It is coming out on next-gen titles, or I should say current-gen, but not last-gen titles. Alright, now that we got all that out of the way, let's get into the meat of the footage they've shown us here. And actually, right off the bat, they hit us with a major plot point with a flashback of what looks like Faith, and I'm guessing her sister. I think that's probably the safest bet that it's her sister, and it appears as though she dies, which is huge because, part of the story is going to be, why is Faith doing this? Why is Faith fighting back? And I'm guessing that her sister dying is probably going to be a huge part of that, and I'd love to see where they go with that. Also, right after she finishes that one flashback about her sister, she actually starts another one. This one looks like it's a little later in her life, and she's training. And she's actually training with two men, and I don't know who these two men are. Of course, they haven't told us anything about any of the other characters in the game yet, except for one other one. I'll talk about him later. But this kind of reinforces the idea that maybe she's doing this for her sister, or at least with her sister in mind, because she's thinking about the two things at the same time. All speculation, of course. So the next thing I want to talk about is actually the world and the story. My understanding and what they've said is that there's no government. Now, I don't know if that literally means no government, like it's technically an anarchy, or if that means that the government just has very little control. But what we do know is that the companies have a lot of control. By the way, the city is actually called Glass in this game, which the previous game never had a name for the city. They never gave it one. But the name of the city is Glass, so I think that's really cool. So let's talk about these corporations that supposedly run the city. I've seen a ton of logos and things in this video and in previous videos. I don't know what they do. Don't know anything about them, but let me just show you a couple of them and feel free to speculate from there. Most of these seem pretty irrelevant. You've got Allcom, you've got Everdeen, both of those make a couple of appearances. Reflection, Saloon, pretty big one here, actually Callahan, a returning one from the first game. They did construction, which is awesome because construction sites are the best place to parkour. Everyone knows that, it's common knowledge. I could go on and on with more of these. There's a ton from previous videos, from wallpaper for the game, for all kinds of stuff. The only one I didn't see was Burfield. That is the one that does not appear to be making a return. And the biggest one, which is Kruger. Now, Kruger is making a return, but it appears to be the biggest one. It's the most story relevant one. The guy who leads the company, whose name is Kruger, appears to be very powerful and probably the main enemy of the game. So let's get back to Faith. Who is she? What is she going through? Well, when she wakes up, she appears to be waking up in some kind of company I don't know what to call it. Basically, it looks like a prison cell. They've got this lady talking over the intercom, saying things that sound a lot like brainwashing, and they don't even really seem to be trying to hide it.
Personal freedom comes at a price.
And then it appears as though they let her just walk away. Now I use that word on purpose, let, because I'm guessing people don't get to just leave whenever they want. That's not the feel I get from this. So I don't know why they would let her leave. Maybe she made a mistake, maybe they fired her. I don't know, but they let her leave. And that brings me to where she, I'm guessing, goes next. I'm using the word guess a lot because I don't actually know anything. But she actually shows up at some point with her little gang of thieves, her fellow runners. And the first thing I noticed with this was actually that there's a lot of them. In Mirror's Edge 1 there was like 5, and only a couple of them were actually mentioned in the game. So I'm a lot happier to see many more of them. The last big thing from this video is actually that one random mysterious character they throw in at the end.
I don't like what's coming, Faith. This city is changing, and not for the better.
He just kind of seems to be the old wise mentor guy, you know, the moral guidance kind of guy, the wise old man. You know, lots of movies and games have the wise old man thing. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if I missed a few things in this video. Please go ahead and tell me if I did. There's more to what we know than just from this video, though. There are 2 other gameplay videos that we've seen. There's the website, which actually has a good bit of information on it. Also wallpaper, things like that. Lots of different places to find cool information. The website actually has a couple of interesting points on it I briefly want to mention. One being that she actually has gadgets now. I don't know what that means, it's really vague, but apparently she has some gadgets, so I can't wait to see what that is. Also, there's something called the Billboard Hack, which seems a lot like, you know, the radio towers from Far Cry, where you kind of have to climb up a thing, and then you display your runner tag instead of corporate propaganda, which is kind of interesting. And I don't know if that'll have any impact on the game, or if that's to like unlock the map or what. I mean, this has been done before, so I don't know. So the release date for this game is going to be February 25th, 2016 in Europe, and in America it's going to be on the 23rd of the same month. 2-day split. I don't know why they would do that, but they did. It will be available on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. And that's all I got for you guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video. I spent a lot of time on it, and I cannot wait for Mirror's Edge Catalyst. If you find any new information, feel free to tell me. I would love to hear it all. And I'll see you guys next time.